Hi, and welcome to another episode of Hot Takes with me, the Silver Fox. We have a story here about council tax, but surprisingly, it's not about the council tax freeze. It's about the actual tax itself. It turns out that about a quarter of all properties in Scotland missed at least one council tax payment last year. That should be worrying. Never mind the council tax freeze. Pointless having a freeze if people aren't paying the council tax. But they're not doing so out of badness. They're doing so out of the fact they haven't got the money. If you haven't got the cash, you can't pay it. And that is half the problem. Money that should have gone to people hasn't gone to people. Earnings are being overly taxed. There's more and more addition to the household bills. The cost of food is going up. Electricity is going up. Everything is going up. Wages aren't going up. And something has to give. If you're sitting there looking at your children and you're thinking, I know, I'll let my children starve just so some councillors can fly off to Dubai, for example. And so, no, people say, tell you what, screw the council tax this month. I need to feed my kids. And that's what's happening. And what are the council ultimately going to do? Take these people to court, take the houses off them, and then be responsible for housing them? It's a stupid situation. But it's a situation brought about by the councils themselves. Let's take a look. So, more than 250,000 Scots have missed council tax payment in the last year. A charity has urged authorities to make council tax a priority debt, with research showing people are not aware of the harsher consequences of being in council tax arrears compared with other types of debt. Because the authorities treat you almost as though you've killed someone when you miss a council tax debt. It's severely, harshly treated. It's got to be treated exactly the same as any other debt. It's a social debt, not a criminal debt. And therefore, if you can't afford to pay it, then you just literally can't afford to pay it, and tough. It shouldn't be something that they can take your house away from you on. More than 270,000 people in Scotland missed a council tax payment last year, according to a charity. Analysis of polling that Citizens Advice Scotland commissioned from YouGov suggests that 276,186 people missed a payment at least once in 2023. Well, food has more than doubled in price. Cost of doing a week's shopping has more than doubled. Fuel went up. Energy bills have gone up. Wages haven't gone up to meet it. Those on benefits, the benefits haven't gone up to meet it. All sorts of things, and life is getting hard. And rather than helping people, council just want to keep putting things up. Oh, we want to charge you for that, charge you for this, charge you for that, charge you for this. And you think that this one-off council tax freeze is going to help. It really isn't. It just means that next year there's going to be an immense rise. Even more people will fail to make it. But then they take you to court, and council tax, it's up there. It's a very serious crime. They deal with it this way and that way. No other debt. Unless you've actually signed a lease or something that you're signing over your house on the benefit of a loan, no other debt can have your house forcibly removed from you. Only council tax. And for what? For roads that aren't filled, the potholes are appalling, for an education system that's falling, for social care that's failing, for greedy councillors that travel the world at public expense. Is it any wonder people say, do you know what? The council tax is wrong. Make councillors do their job for nothing. Expenses only. Pay them expenses for getting to work, that's it. And let the ones that are currently doing the job would walk away quick as you like. Not for them. The international travel. Ban all international travel. Ban everything like that. Save the money. Reduce the council tax. And people will find it easier to pay. Anyway, the charity estimates that the figure is equivalent to 31 people missing a payment every hour from December 2022. CAS is currently running a stressed about debt campaign, encouraging those who are worried about money to seek debt advice from its network. And debt is awful on families and on stress and on people. It's an awful thing. So anyone who is, do go and take advantage of it. It believes council tax should be considered a priority debt. That is a debt people ought to deal with first or risk enforcement that is quicker and harsher than enforcement for commercial debt. Previous research from CAS found people are not aware of the harsher consequences of being in council tax arrears compared with other types of debt, such as loans or credit cards. You can walk away from a loan or a credit card. Unless you've actually tied your house to it, there's nothing they can do. They can take you to court, but if you haven't got the money, it's going to cost them. And the courts go, you're out of luck, aren't you? Councils can subject those in arrears of just 1 month to a speedy debt enforcement through a bank arrestment, which can include benefits as a means of recovering payment. On average, around 1 in 3 of the charity's clients presenting debt issues at the Bureau have council tax debt. CAS Financial Health spokesperson Miles Fitz said the sheer scale of people who've missed a council tax payment last year is alarming. That's 270,000 people receiving a bill for payment of the full year of council tax because of that one missed payment. And then people don't have the money, and the moment they don't pay that full year's worth, they get taken to court and they can lose their homes. That's 270,000 potentially facing a bank arrestment if payment can't be made. 270,000 people potentially in need of advice, as council tax debt is nearly always connected to other debts. The cost of living crisis is undoubtedly a key factor in this. People are prioritising essential costs like heating, food and shelter, and in some cases that means skipping or not being able to pay their monthly council tax bill. Or any bills. You can't expect people to keep missing food just to pay a council tax bill that sends the likes of 2 seats to Dubai and gets your roads not repaired and your schools falling apart and social care and every single thing that councils are responsible for that they're not doing. And yet they're going to put people in debt. They're going to put people in prison almost because they can't afford to pay it, because they've got children that need to be fed. Debts should be forgiven. Things like this. This country is rich enough. If it can give £750,000 to Hamas, it can certainly forgive a few council tax debts, don't you think? If SNP members, MSPs, if MSPs can vote themselves a massive rise in salaries, they can forgive council tax debts. If councillors can get a rise that puts their wages on the same level as MSPs, councils can forgive a few council tax debts. That's the problem you've got. These greedy councils who just go take, and they don't care about the humanity behind what they're doing. Anyway, the Citizens Advice is saying council tax should be regarded as a priority bill simply because the debt collection process is quicker and harsher than commercial debts. And the council tax bills will land on the doorsteps in the next week or the next few weeks for the next financial year, and we urge people to factor in consequences of not paying it. And basically, if you're in trouble, go and speak to Citizens Advice. They can help. They really can, and they can get you on different schemes. Even the councils know people can't pay, and they don't want to take you to court, but they do want their money. And so what they can do is say you carry on there, and they can give you an arrangement fee and things like that. There are ways out, so definitely take advantage. Anyway, I'm going to round up and come up, but these councils have a lot to answer for morally. Coming up. Council tax is iniquitous in its own right, but the punishment you have for not paying it is extremely harsh. And this is another one of those mafia things, you know, where you're forced to pay up under threat. Money by menaces, really, isn't it? Anyway, thank you very much for watching. Do please hit the subscribe button, ring the bell, leave a like, leave a comment, please share the video, and I will speak to you later. Bye.